The 2024-25 Premier League season is now underway, and with that being said, I thought this would be the perfect time to rank every single home kit for the 2024-25 season. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking every single Premier League home kit for this season, starting at 20th place at the bottom and moving up all the way until I get to first place, which is in my opinion the best Premier League home kit. Obviously, if you guys disagree with any of my rankings on these kits, remember to leave a comment down below telling me where you think these kits should be ranked. And if you guys want to see another one of these videos for the Premier League away kits, or even for any of the other kits in any of the other leagues, again, remember to leave a comment down below. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Before I get into this list, I just want to mention that in my opinion, a lot of the Premier League home kits for this season are very poorly designed. I'm not a big fan of a lot of these kits. So if I'm shitting on your club or I'm disrespecting something about your club, please don't take it personally. I'm only talking about their kits. Starting off in 20th place, and in my opinion, this is the worst home kit for this season, and it is the same home kit that they had last season, and it is Brentford's home kit. This kit obviously is not too bad. It is a fairly standard kit. I'm not really a big fan of it, but because of the fact that they didn't change it from last season, I have nowhere else to put this other than 20th place. Moving on to 19th place. When I first saw this kit, I almost threw up. Honestly, this kit, in my opinion, is such a strange design, and I've never ever seen something like it, and it is the Chelsea home kit. It looks like someone just got a big bottle of paint and just splashed it all over this kit. In my opinion, it is not a football kit. It is a tie-dye shirt that you'd wear if you're 10 years old. I'm not a big fan of this kit. I can understand if some people like the design, but in my opinion, it's not for me. It's not a classic football kit, and that's why I put it in 19th place. Moving on to 18th place, I've put the new Wolves home kit. I was a pretty big fan of their kits last season. I did like them. But this season, they have a new sponsor, Sudo, who I've never personally heard of. And I think that they really messed up with this kit. I'm not a big fan of the sponsor being where the sponsor normally is, but the badge, the Wolves badge, being in the middle of the kit. I'm not really a big fan of that. In my opinion, it looks a little bit displaced. And obviously this is just a plain yellow kit. I'm not really a big fan of it, and that's why I've put it in 18th place. Moving on into 17th place, I've put the new Fulham home kit. This kit, in my opinion, is just so plain. It is a all white kit. There is obviously the black Adidas stripes and the small red stripe on the sides of the body, but other than that, it is just completely white. It is very boring. It's very bright, and I just don't like it at all. Moving on into 17th place, I've put the newly promoted team, Leicester City. In my opinion, this kit is just a little bit plain. Now, in the past, I've actually been a big fan of some of Leicester's home kits where they have that King Power sponsor. I think they make some fairly nice kits, but this season, I just don't feel like Adidas did them good. And I'm not really a big fan of the sponsor. I've never heard of this BC game with the Pac-Man logo. I don't know, it's a little bit strange for me, and that's why I put them in 16th place. Moving on to 15th place, I've put the other newly promoted team, the Southampton home kit. In my opinion, this kit is okay. It is fairly plain. It has the red and white vertical stripes going throughout the whole kit, and it is an okay kit. I'm not really a big fan of the collar. I think the sponsor looks a little bit childish, and I'm not in general a big fan of these betting sponsors. Moving on to 14th place, I've put the new Everton home kit. Now this kit is again okay. I'm not against the design. It is very plain. There's nothing really around the sleeves, but on the body of the kit, there is a small little black or dark blue pattern that looks okay. It's nothing too special. The collar is pretty nice. It looks like a classic collar, but in general, I think they could have done a lot better with this kit. Moving on to 13th place, and this may come as a little bit of a surprise, I've put the new Liverpool home kit. This year, Liverpool have gone with a very strange design, where in my opinion, I thought normal pinstripes would look much nicer than this weird, randomly placed lines. I'm not really a big fan of it. Obviously, the shirt does represent You'll Never Walk Alone, which is a staple for Liverpool, but I just don't think Nike did this a good way. I think they could have made this kit much nicer, and in my opinion, one of the worst things about this kit is the collar. It is a very thick collar, but it stops halfway. It's like it doesn't connect, which in my opinion looks very strange. I really hate this collar. Now, I like the meaning behind this kit, and that's why I put it this high, but in my opinion, the design of the kit is pretty shit, and that's why I've put them in 13th place. Moving on to 12th place, I've put the new Manchester United home kit. In my opinion, the kit from last season with the rose design throughout the whole kit with the black accents looked way nicer than this kit. I'm not a big fan of this. Again, similar to the Liverpool kit, there is a nice meaning behind it, and the gradient from light red to dark red is supposed to represent the club's rich history. But I don't really care about the history or the meaning behind it. I care about the kit, and the design on this kit is very boring. Moving on to 11th place, I've put the new Newcastle home kit. This is where, in my opinion, the kits start to get from bad to okay. I think this kit is fairly average. Obviously, Newcastle kits are always pretty similar. They always have some form of black and white vertical stripes. And this kit, yes, it is a little bit plain, and I do think Adidas could have done better with it. I still think it is a pretty nice kit. Moving on to 10th place, I've put the new Manchester City home kit. Again, similar to a lot of other clubs, Manchester City do usually have a fairly plain kit, and once again, this is just a plain kit. There isn't really any design on the body. I do love the blue color of Manchester City, and obviously they have went ahead and added a cool design on the collar and around the cuffs of the sleeves, where there is the area code of Manchester. With that cool design, I did bump them up a few places, but in my opinion, it is still a little bit of a plain kit, and that's why I put them at mid-table in 10th place. Moving on to 9th place, I've put the new Bournemouth home kit. In my opinion, I think Umbro did a great job designing this kit. I love the big black collar, I love the red cuffs around the sleeves, I love the black and red stripes with the gold pinstripes on either side. I think it looks very nice. The only thing I'm not a big fan of is that big BJ sponsor in the middle of the kit. I think they could have made this sponsor smaller. I think they could have chosen a better design for the sponsor. I'm not a big fan of the sponsor in general. I don't even know what the hell BJ is. But in general, I do think this is a nice kit. I think it could have been much better, and I think if the sponsor was different, maybe it was smaller, I think this could have been a top 5 kit. Moving on to 8th place, I've put the third newly promoted team, Ipswich Town. This kit, in my opinion, looks like a classic football kit, and that's what I love about some of these lower level teams. I feel like their kits are always classic, normal football kits, unlike some of these other kits that we see nowadays. The design is very simple. It is all in the navy blue color with the white pinstripes going down the body. There is obviously the dark blue cuffs around the sleeves and the collar, and obviously there is the Ipswich Town logo with that cool Ed Sheeran tour sponsor. Moving on into 7th place, I've put the new Nottingham Forest home kit. Nottingham Forest, in my opinion, always have fairly simple home kits. Most of the time they're just red with a little bit of white accents. But this season, they went with a very unique design throughout the body of the kit. And as you can see, there is 2 stars in this design, which obviously do represent the 2 European Cups that they have won. And I love this subtle detail. Moving on to 6th place, I've put the Brighton and Hove Albion home kit. Now, yes, Brighton throughout recent years have always had fairly similar home kits, and in my opinion, I've always been a big fan of them. This kit has the blue vertical stripes going down with the white pinstripe in the middle that kind of fades off towards the top of the kit. Obviously, around the collar and the cuffs around the sleeves, it is in that same blue color. And in my opinion, I think Nike did a great job with this kit. Moving on to 5th place, we are now in the top 5. I've put Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham once again did produce a fairly plain kit, and I feel like that is the norm for Tottenham. They usually have fairly plain kits that are mainly white with a little bit of dark blue color. But I really like what they did with the sleeves, how they made the sleeves in that all dark blue color. Again, this kit is very plain and there's not really any cool design about it, but I love the collar, I love the dark blue sleeves, I love the cuffs around the sleeves, I love the white body, and that's why I put them in 5th place. Moving on to 4th place, I've put the new Aston Villa home kit. This season, Adidas are sponsoring them instead of Castoria, and I feel like Adidas did do a better job. Last season, they had these strange chalk-looking marks across the whole body of the kit, and this season, Adidas went for a little bit of a more plain kit, but still with the blue sleeves, and I'm a big fan of it. I love the Adidas stripes on the shoulders, I love the collar, I love the plain aesthetic of this kit, and that's why I put them in 4th place. Moving on to 3rd place, I've put the new West Ham home kit. This kit is obviously very similar to Aston Villa, as they both have very similar colors, and West Ham do generally have similar kits to previous seasons. But in my opinion, this kit I'm a big fan of. In my opinion, this is kind of a mix between the Tottenham and the Aston Villa kit for this season. But in my opinion, it takes the best parts of both of those kits and combines them in one. I love the collar, I love the cuffs around the sleeves, I love how the sleeves are in that light blue color when the body is in that burgundy color, and I love what they did with the West Ham crest. I think it looks very, very nice. Moving on to second place, I've put the new Arsenal home kit. Like I said, at first I didn't like all the white, but now that I've seen it in game, I'm a big fan of it. I feel like it's very different from what Arsenal normally have. Obviously, they have the Canon badge instead of the normal Arsenal badge, and I really love the collar and the Adidas stripes on the shoulders in that dark blue color. I think it looks very nice. I think the design of this kit is plain, but I love the colors they chose. I love the simple design, and that's why I put this kit in second place. And finally, moving on into first place, in my opinion, the best Premier League home kit for the 2024-25 season, I've put the new Crystal Palace home kit. I feel like this kit is very, very different. It is very unique. I've never really seen a kit like this. And in my opinion, I think it's one of those ones where you either love it or you hate it. But in my opinion, I love it. I think the design on the blue areas of the kit with the Crystal Palace eagle look very, very cool. And that red spray paint stripes, it's just so unique. When do you see a kit like this? Normally you just see plain stripes, but here they have decided to go with a very unique design and a different design on both the stripes. And in my opinion, I think it looks very, very cool. I feel like this kit is a mix of a classic football kit with the stripes, but also a new era of football kits where they have the design and the different type of stripes. Obviously, it's not the plain stripes. It is that spray paint and that eagle looking design. I can't explain it. I can't explain how much I love this kit. I love the collar. I love the cuffs around the sleeve. I love the design. I love the uniqueness. And in my opinion, this is the best Premier League home kit for the 2024-25 season. And that is the end of this video where I ranked every single home kit for the 2024-25 Premier League season. If you guys agree with my ranking, remember to leave a comment down below. But again, if you disagree with any of my rankings or you have any other comments, again, remember to leave them down below and I'll be sure to reply to every single comment. And obviously, if you did enjoy this video, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stay tuned for more videos.